In understanding music, or al-musica, in the diverse regions we call the Middle East, each with populations that practice Islam differently, that have diverse histories, other religions, and diverse views on music and art, we are reminded that sweeping generalities about any region or religion, though possibly convenient, are largely inaccurate. Although we can say throughout the Muslim world that the chanting of prayers or of the Muslim holy book, the Quran, as in other religions, is unanimously viewed as both appropriate and desirable, intonement is not viewed as music or performance. The style of singing used in chanting, when applied to singing the praise of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, or the central figures of Islam, but accompanied by instruments or movement, is viewed with diverse and conflicting opinions across the region. From where does the conflict concerning the appropriateness of music and dance stem? Among the passages in the Quran, Muhammad says, "Do you marvel at this statement, and laugh and do not weep, while you amuse yourselves proudly in vanities? Rather, prostrate before Allah and worship Him alone." Therefore, in how one determines what is amusing or vain lies the key to whether singing, playing instruments, the reading of poetry, or dancing to music is permissible or of advantage to the soul. A conservative vision of such a verse might be, it would not do justice to compare this position of reservation to music by Islam with heartsick people who are unable to appreciate the joyful effect of music. Islam does not see right to remain indifferent to music because it knows how delightful music is to our nature and how strong it is to our feelings. While a more accommodating one might include, those who believe that the Quran is a complete book believe that it is true regarding all prohibitions. The list of prohibitions in the Quran does not include music and singing. The Quran teaches us that God is extremely displeased with those who prohibit anything that was not specifically prohibited in the Quran. Across the Middle East and North Africa, the majority of Muslims adhere to two primary branches. Sunni Islam. Sunnis follow the guidance and interpretation, hadiths, of Islam from a lineage of Islamic clergy. And Shia Islam. Shias believe that Muhammad appointed his first cousin Ali to be a successor, from which a succession of 11 imams descended. In these groups, we will find a diversity of views concerning music based on time, location, and religious leadership. However, when we do find strong support for music, instrumental playing, or movement in dancing, we are likely to find one particular group of Muslims, a branch similar to Hasidic Jewish or Protestant Christian that places a high emphasis on music and dance as a means of coming closer to God. That group is known as Sufi Muslims. Largely born from a path of service, first to a teacher, then to others, with a goal of becoming one with God, through Dakha and Murukawa, Sufis engage in ritualized chant, singing, instrumental music, and dance, which can lead to a state of complete ecstasy and spiritual trance, or the point where the name of Allah or God is etched permanently on the believer's heart. Among the poets most recognized in the creation of ecstatic poetry, chant, and dance is the Persian mystic poet Jalal ad-Din Muhammad Rumi. Popularly known as Mevlana in Turkey or Molono in Iran or Afghanistan, and to the rest of the world simply as Rumi. He was a 13th century poet, mystic, and founder of the famed Mevlevi order of Sufis in Turkey.
Rumi was a Persian poet. His poems merely were talking about love, poetry, and dancing. He also was a mystic poet, and he created, provided Sama dance. Sama dance as a ceremony dance, as a whirling dervishes that they celebrate the God through love and poetry. چرا من باید جستجوی اونو بکنم؟ من همون او هستم، اون هم همون من هستش، اون در وجود منه. من در حقیقت دارم جستجوی خودم رو میکنم، خودم رو دارم پیدا میکنم. من خودم شمس هستم.
Rumi's poetry and the Sufi orders that were established upon his example would combine the use of instruments such as the bendir, daf or tar, a large single-headed frame drum, flutes and string instruments, and a style of circular dance by Sufi dervishes, part of the music and dance ceremony known as Sama. What is perhaps more important about Sufi practices to the world of music is that wherever Sufi practice their spiritual arts, in Turkey, in Pakistan, in Iran, Iraq, in Lebanon, in Egypt, or in Morocco, you will also find the strongest emphasis on music and dance, not as contradictory to the teachings of the Holy Quran, but Sufis feel as a reflection of it.
to the